Hey there, everybody in Internet Land. David Adams here, and I am the Budget Audiophile. Just gonna do a quick walkthrough of the theater. It'll be like the first real video that we put on YouTube. I just kind of want to show you guys what's going on here. Got a bunch of DIY to show you guys. Maybe we'll talk about some future plans, but I'm gonna stop talking in front of the camera and I'm gonna jump behind the camera so we can actually walk through and talk about the various things we've got going on. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright, so switching to handheld mode here, so we're not going to be too fancy, it won't take too long. I just want to get the front stage out of the way. We have two DIY towers. They started life as very awesome Optimus T200 from Realistic. They are amazing speakers in and of themselves. They're still very much DIY because I mean, everything from the crossover to the drivers inside of them, it's all changed out. So, I mean, not to take away from the Optimus T200s, but I wanted a different sound, but I wanted the presence that the Optimus T200s give. So these guys right here, if you're wondering, are the Optimus T200s, what they started life as. Klipsch horn tweeters. I forget what the model number on that horn tweeter is, but if you have a KG 4.2 or the 5.5 or the 3.5, you've seen that tweeter before, you've used that tweeter before, you know how awesome that tweeter is. Down below it is a 6.5-inch reference driver matched to the ones inside the center channel. It's fantastic. They do a really great job at producing everything pretty much from, I mean, they're rated to go all the way down to 30 hertz, but I've got them cut off right around, I believe, 300 hertz is where the three-way crossover on this is. Two bass drivers. The bottom one is a Dayton 10-inch sub bass driver, and it's matched to the other one, obviously. These each have the original Radio Shack RST10s that came in the Optimus T200s. I just kind of wanted to maintain that for as long as possible. Eventually, these will start to lose their lifespan, and I'll be replacing those, and I'll just get another set of the Dayton 10-inch sub bass drivers. It's a custom-built center channel. Obviously, the mid-bass drivers you can see are matched to the fronts. And then we have a PRV super tweeter in the center. That bad boy goes all the way up to 25,000 hertz. It's nice knowing that I can do that. It's nice having overhead when you want to listen to things. On the outside, we have two Yamaha 7-inch reference subwoofers. I wanted to go with reference subwoofers in there. And it's a three-way crossover as well. I wanted to go with a three-way crossover, a three-way design, because this is a three-way design. And also, while I'm on that, these are sealed. So I went with sealed center channel as well. I know most center channels are ported, but I kind of wanted to match the performance so that they blend a little better. Just deciding to go sealed, and sealed did a really good job making sure that these two things sound a lot alike. Especially in the mid-range where all the dialogue is, these things sound pretty much like, it sounds like this is a matched center channel to that. If you ask me to do it again, I probably wouldn't be able to do it because I'm not that good. But for doing a lot of guesswork and using WinISD and just asking around on the internet, I think I did a pretty good job. You can see it sits atop this white dresser thing that I bought from Goodwill. Works really well. I keep all of my audio stuff in here, so I have my headphones for when I'm running really loud stuff. I have a UMIC one that I use with REW when I'm balancing out everything, and then I just have weight down in that bottom drawer to keep everything steady because this thing is exceptionally heavy. And then over here, a custom-built subwoofer using a Q-bomb frame. Went in there, gutted everything out, baffled it, ran a port down to there that you can see. This thing is tuned to about 18 hertz. Sounds really good. Big, stupid. I believe that is I really should have written this stuff down, but I believe that's either, that's Proficiency Audio donated that subwoofer to me. And when I say donated, I mean I went online and I found that they sell their individual drivers, and I bought one because I like the way their subwoofers sound. So that's a Proficiency Audio subwoofer. Go to Proficiency Audio's website and go into their support. Email them and they will sell you a sub bass driver just like that, and that thing gets dumb low. I'm very surprised at how that sounds. That is a 5.7 cubic foot enclosure though, so you do expect it to sound quite well at low frequencies, and it does a good job. That's a moving blanket. Why do I have a moving blanket there? To block sound from there from bouncing off of that. I do that so that, just to kind of get rid of some reflections there. It does help. It helps break up some of that sound. When I get money, I will be able to buy a real sound trap for that. This is a 125-inch Home Gear, I believe is the company. I believe it's Home Gear makes this screen. Obviously, it's just the screen. I built this frame out of some scrap wood we had lying around. I moved it up. And then my buddy PJ gave me the idea. You guys know PJ. He's part of the group. If you're watching this in the Home Theater for Everyone group, PJ Rupp. Awesome guy, great advice. If he gives you advice, listen to him. He said, darken everything around the screen because all this was just white paint before. So I put all this stuff up, and all I can say is that when you're watching this, you're no longer looking at a projection screen. You are looking at just a window into the movie. It's really good. So let's move on to the next driver. You can see here it's an SVS tube sub, a cylinder sub from SVS. Ooh, what SVS could this be? Could it be the PC4000? Could it be the PC2000? No, this is the 1646CS, 12-inch driver tuned to 16 hertz, 46 inches tall, 16 inches across. This thing is ridiculous. This thing by itself is very capable of powering this theater. It is a big theater. As you can see, it goes all the way back there. But yes, so big sub, needed for big rooms, goes very low. It's very good at that. SVS knows what they're doing. They've always known what they're doing. And I can actually say that this sub is the reason why I got into DIY in the first place, because when I saw the craftsmanship behind this, it kind of inspired me to say, I think I might be able to do that. And I mean, obviously, I can't match the craftsmanship of SVS. They're professionals, but I was able to actually design some really awesome subs, and it all started with the motivation from this subwoofer right here. The horsepower behind all of this, behind everything here, we have all the horsepower. Pardon the mess. I was watching movies. I decided to do a walkthrough. This is how things go. People do that. On top, you have a Pyle PT 8000CH. This is a super ridiculously high-powered amplifier. I know that a lot of people are going to say, hey, why you have Pyle? It's a piece of crap. It's a Pyle. Get it? Pyle. Moving right along. The problem with Pyle is quality control. I got lucky with this one. This one sounds really good, especially because all I'm driving with it are my subwoofers. It's really good for what it is. And it's not just really good for what it is, it's really good full stop. I did have to put a little piece of one-sided sticky foam here because it has these little graphs that you cannot disable. And I don't want to open it up because it's under warranty. So I just put a little piece of sticky foam there to hide that graph, so when I'm watching really bangy movies, that I don't see the lights flashing in my retina. Below that, we have a Denon AVR. That's the 4400X Atmos powering a 7.2.4 setup. This is the ubiquitous Sony X800 that you can see down there. It's a Blu-ray player, nothing fancy about it. Plays Blu-rays in 4K. That's all I need. Down there is a Yamaha natural sound amplifier. All I have that doing is powering 2 of my Atmos speakers, and we'll get into those later. Yes. Power conditioner. This behemoth that you see here from here to here, which literally is this tall. This is a DIY subwoofer I decided to build and this is like actually the first DIY subwoofer I decided to build. It's got a Dayton Audio 15-inch reference subwoofer in there. This thing goes dumb low and it's flat. It did have a bit of a bump at 12, and that's probably because of my lack of ability in knowing how to tune a subwoofer, which I had to use the mini DSP to EQ out. But yeah, so this thing was ridiculous. And it's loud. This thing is another one of the subwoofers that, along with those guys there, by itself can completely power this entire theater. It's a monster. Front seats, back seats, we don't have to cover them again. Don't ask. They're couches that recline. You can get these anywhere. Ashley Furniture, Goodwill, a trash can. This guy, which I have to back way up for, also has a 15-inch reference subdriver, the same exact driver that's in this. In there, it's actually at 8.7 cubic feet. You can see it's very large. This is whenever you see me run my demos and I go upstairs, and when I close the door, you see the entire house shaking. It's pretty much just him that actually goes out and shakes the foundation of the house, and it sends pieces of concrete down into the groundwater, and then Indiana calls me and they want to sue. So yeah, so you have this guy doing a lot of thumping, that guy doing a lot of vibrating. It gets very intimate down here with my subwoofers. These are also DIY. I won't get into who makes what. This is a reference 8-inch driver. These are non-reference 7-inch drivers because I built this before I built that. So I did not know that you can buy reference 7-inch drivers. Now that I know that, when these guys give up the ghost or whenever I get money, I will upgrade these to reference 7-inch drivers. So again, 3-way speakers with a 3-way crossover, super high-end tweeter from MSE Audio. These guys know what they're doing with sound. MSE knows they're just amazing. Slimline tower design. I wanted to get like a transmission line set up, but I decided to just have it front ported. It's not quite transmission line, but it's still in phase. It does a really good job of making the noises. Yeah, so 2 7-inch drivers, an 8-inch driver down there doing all the sub-bassy things, and a tweeter up there at the range where tweeters are supposed to be. Got 2 12s right here. That monster down there is from Yamo with a big ol' upgraded 12 in there. I was gonna upgrade it to a 15, but I decided not to at the last minute, and I just got the biggest, dumbest 12 that I can buy because this had like a little dinky paper 12 in it. I would show you what it's like, but it's actually quite involving to get inside of this subwoofer, so I won't do that. Just take my word for it. It's got a big 12 in there. This also has a big 12 in it from True Audio. Over here is a DefTech 12, and underneath that is a Klipsch 12. These guys sound really good. They hit really hard, and where the crossover is on the DSP and on the AVR, it makes sure all these subs kind of blend in together. So back here, we get to the subs that I call the replaceables. That's why they're back here. They're doing a really good job, but I kind of have things set up here. In the middle there, since it's a standout thing and most people are gonna ask questions about that, that is a custom built box, of course, with a 15-inch driver in it. The 15-inch driver is from Blue Octave. It's not very high end. In fact, I wish I didn't have it because I wouldn't have been possessed to build this box for it. But I will say that it sounds really good. So I am impressed with that really crappy 15. But when I get a chance to get another one of these types of 15s, I will put it in there, and we'll just take that 15 and put it in a box and ship it to Norway. Let them deal with it. These guys are ubiquitous as well, PSW 505s. One is missing the surround because I was kind of inside of it, just kind of seeing how things looked in there. They do okay. They actually, I've got this system so well balanced now with the mini DSP that the second I pull these PSW 505s out of the picture, my map goes all crazy. And then I put them back in and it sounds really good. So anyone who thinks you can't make PSW 505 sound good, you just need to go back and learn how to dial in your speakers. I'm not that good. Like, I'm an amateur at best, and I got them to integrate really well. These are not DIY. These are Kenwood LSP 7300s. They are a 5-way design, at least according to Kenwood's spec sheet. That is a 12-inch driver down there, 2 mid-ranges and 3 tweeters. Oh, I don't know what you do with all these tweeters and mid-ranges, but these things sound phenomenal. I bet these things blew away people whenever these were made in the 80s or 90s or whenever these things were made, and I guarantee they will blow people away today. They sound fantastic. They're just really good. The projector is a Epson 2150. It's HD because I'm sitting 14 feet from the screen. So if you want to know more about this, Google it, Epson 2150. These are Kicker KB6000s or K6000s. They sound really good, especially in Atmos. If I come back here, you can see that they look really cool. I've got them pushed out wide and aiming in. I know that's technically not correct, but I was just kind of playing around with the sound of them, and I want to see how these things sounded out there. I'll probably move them back more towards the center, directly over the listener. That way their sound can originate where it's supposed to. But actually, like that, doesn't sound that bad. It widens the field out a little bit more than I'm pretty sure the engineers would like, but Most people don't notice. They just look up every time something flies overhead. And that's pretty much it for the entire theater. I don't think there's anything I missed. Yeah, so again, mostly DIY, as you can see. Some prefab stuff, the True Audio, the Def Tech, the Klipsch. That Yamo is pretty much a DIY driver, a subwoofer at this point, but I still call it the Yamo because all I did was upgrade the subwoofer driver. Some prefab stuff, like I said, and that's about it. If you guys have any questions, hit me up, budgetaudiophile22@gmail.com, or just hit me up on the Budget Audiophile Facebook page, or just ask me a question in the comment section down below me. And yeah, this video is really long. I'm gonna have to edit it down because no one wants to sit and watch a 23-minute video. We're gonna have to make this a lot shorter. Okay, bye.